Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Sotto som chiede con so beppa con so felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey there, welcome. Happy Sunday. We do indeed want to get it started. I'm Jason, that's Ben. This is Wanna Bet. We do this 7 days a week. We give you our favorite plays that we're making. We try to make you guys money. We're not selling bullshit parlays for sports books. We're not shilling for anybody. We are working our asses off to make money in this racket and to share, hopefully, our spoils with you guys. Today's an NFL heavy show, as you might think. First, second, third down, our favorite plays. Fourth and long or short, we're giving you long shots. We're giving you futures, or we might be giving you something to hit quickly. Those haven't been going as well for me lately, though. So I've got some longer plays. Overtime, football parlays every single day. It's football season, and we're transparent. So we tell you how we're doing. Straight up, I destroyed soccer. If you're riding with me on soccer in the Super Discord and on this show, European World Cup qualifying, we're back, baby. MLS, we're back, baby. Oregon, that one stunk, but we did hit a 3-leg plus money college parlay. And we are excited about this NFL slate of games. And our Brew Crew, Quinny P. Brew Crew is very much alive. Very much.
You see, you brought it up today. It's been the series has been going on. You hadn't brought it up the last 3 days or 4 days.
You want me to do a Brewer segment every day? I could do that for you.
I mean, it's just crazy.
People want it. I mean, and they should, because we made so much money on the Brewers.
You're right.
If they want it, I'll deliver.
I figured we'd hear about them today, but we hadn't heard about them for a few days. So
I figured you would keep both sides in it, which is fine. How'd you do yesterday?
Not at all how I played it. What do you talk? See, you that's typical you. I did good. Typical you moving around. I finished up over a unit. You hear what you want, but I finished up a little over a unit. Penn State lost. That hurt us. USC on the money line. Like them early in the week. We had a parlay with them. And then Bo Nix right now. We've got one. Hopefully in the next 9 minutes we can get it. But we'll see what they do there. They've been running the football on third down. Didn't expect that. We also have a few Marvin Mims props that are going. Don't look good. He has one catch on a screen. So hopefully they figure it out, but we'll see.
One more touchdown out of Bo Nix would be nice. Yeah, I mean, move the ball at will. At one point in time, late in the first half, 175 net yards to 1. 125 of those through the air. And then Sean Payton swallowed his own nuts. So we'll have to see what happens here down the stretch. All right, Beltway Ben, we got a lot to get to today. Where are you taking us on first down?
First down, we're going to go to Kamani Vidal, over 35.5 rushing and receiving yards, a -115. This number has been dropping a bunch. It was at 41.5 before the report of I was hoping that we didn't get the report up. Marvin Mims just caught a big catch. That's very helpful.
Yeah, 24 yards, it looks like.
Ooh. Yes, that's
26.
Huge. That is very, we had his longest reception. Right. We had his receiving yard. They had it finally. Jeez, I thought for sure that was cooked. They took a shot to him over top. Real quick, though. Kamani Vidal, over 35.5. The number dropped down after you had the report that Haskins is going to be the guy. They can say that all they want, and he's expected to be the lead back. Vidal will still get touches. And to me, he is the better back. I know the Hardballs, we all know, they're so loyal to their people, but sometimes it hurts them. To me, if you've watched what we've seen from them, Vidal has been he's looked more explosive. The Dolphins defense, bottom 8 in success against the run, second to last in defense VPA against the run, and they've allowed 247 receiving yards to running backs this season. I'm also telling you now, this is an official play, over 1.5 receptions at +155. If you're telling me that he's going to get some action, that means he'll be on the field for third downs. They want to keep Herbert safe. Easy throws to the running back. I like him over 1.5 receptions, +155, and over his rushing and receiving, 35.5.
I'm going back to that Tampa-San Francisco game. I like this spot for Tampa quite a bit. Egbuka, nobody can stop him to this point. Over 425 receiving yards, 5 TDs. San Francisco doesn't have a number 1 corner. I'm not sure they have a number 2 corner. They have no pass rush. They get no pressure. And Robert Saleh is not some exotic blitzer. He wants to play coverage and keep things in front of people. I think they're going to have their hands full with this kid and Baker Mayfield. Baker's throwing for 2 touchdowns a game. No Evans, no Godwin. The back, right? Bucky Irvin's out. The back, Rashad White wants to catch those screen passes, make people miss. That's another avenue, short passes to score because Baker's not going to do a tush push, and their power backs aren't there. So yeah, that's where I am on this game. San Francisco's allowed 9 passing touchdowns. They haven't picked the ball off since last November. Second down, Beltway Ben.
Yes, second down, we're going to go to Rico Dowdle. Listen, to me, I don't love like taking a guy right after he had a monstrous week because you get a lot of people on him and the numbers overpriced and it's just not worth it. But I don't know how it doesn't happen again. And now you're giving me the revenge game factor. 234 rushing and receiving yards last week against the Dolphins, who you can compare to Dallas against running backs in both the run and pass game. Cowboys last in the NFL in success rate against the run, bottom 12 in EPA against the run, and they've allowed 299 receiving yards to running backs this season. That is dead last in the NFL, including the other game we had on Thursday and this one that's almost over that we haven't seen much from the running back. So they are dead last in the NFL, just under 60 yards per game in the pass game. Rico Dowdle has the RB2 background. He catches passes. They're comfortable with him on the field. They don't have to take him off the field on third down. Hubbard's out. I don't expect anything else out of their other running backs. And I think we see him with a big day.
Second down, I'm on that game as well. We're on this game in a lot of different ways. I think there's a lot of scoring in this game. Dak Prescott leads the NFL in completions and attempts. He has 7 passing touchdowns the last 2 games. Carolina's allowed 43 passing touchdowns since the start of last year, most in the NFL. Carolina is horrible against tight ends. 32 for 38, 401 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 129.8 rating this year. They were also horrible last year. They've allowed the second most touchdown passes to tight ends in the last 2 years. They're also allowing over 9 yards per attempt to tight ends. And Ferguson, right now, with no CD Lamb, is dominating a lot of the slot looks from Dak Prescott. We've got Ferguson at 50 and 60 anytime touchdown for this parlay. And look, I think Dak throws 3 in this one. If you watch these shows all week, you see where we're going with this. But for plus 180, I like that a lot. Third down, Ben.
Yes, third down. We will go to a receiving prop. Oh my God, Bo Nix just missed. Wow. Third down. We're going to go to a receiving prop.
The 175 I need, by the way. I needed 175 out of him. He's at 174.
How about 3rd and 10, handing the ball up the middle and sending the punt unit out? I mean, you can't make it up.
Yeah, no, Sean Payton has really pooped his pants here.
Dude, against a good run defense and a bad pass, I don't get it. Jawan Jennings, over 51.5 receiving yards. Bucs have really struggled defending the pass all season. They're bottom 5 in defensive pass EPA. Jennings has turned it on the past few years. Now, he's dealt with injury this year, but coming into the season, we heard about the holdout. We heard about things that could happen. He might have he was going to sit out. They didn't know what was going on. So instead of giving him an extension, they incentivized his contract. They put a lot of different things in there. So basically, he can earn more money. And with you sitting out, when you're out there, you're going to have to turn it on. He is the wide receiver 1 now that he's back. Pearsall's out until at least next week. And I know, like, we were all over Kendrick Bourne last week, and I know that Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne tandem was working well. But to me, Jawan Jennings is going to demand targets. 51.5 for a true wide receiver 1 against a Bucs team that's trying to play shootouts and will probably play shootouts. I think it's too good for me to pass up on. They have not really been able to get the run game going. We've seen that with Christian McCaffrey's yards. And all of a sudden last week, late in the game, in probably usual rundowns, they're throwing the football because Mac Jones is getting it out and efficiently. So that means a lot to me here. I think Jawan Jennings goes over 51.5 receiving yards.
Third down, I'm going to another true blue tight end quarterback combination against a terrible defense and a defense that's especially terrible against tight ends. Jordan Love, plenty of time to think about what's going right, what's going wrong, coming off a bye against a terrible Bengals team. His last 11 games, 17 touchdowns to 1 pick. He loves taking deep seam shots to the tight end. The Bengals can't cover that. Bengals allowed 14 touchdowns to tight end since the start of last year. That's 1 more than even Carolina. They're allowing 9 yards per attempt as well. Tight ends have accounted for at least 60 passing yards in 13 of the last 16 games the Bengals have played. I think it's 3 or 4 passing touchdowns allowed. And I know I've got yards here, but like he's going to be open for deep shots. Could the other tight end get on some of this? He can. That's why I'm playing this at 50. It should be a great day to pitch and catch for Green Bay. And while there isn't always the volume that I might like in the pass game, they do get a lot of shots, 20, 25, 30 yards. And I expect the tight ends to be open all day long. Bengals defense is obviously in disarray. They sold out to stop the run a little bit more last week against the Lions, and then Goff just picked them apart. I expect the same thing here. 4th down, Ben.
Yeah, I know you're going to get to a few plays, so I'll just do. Do you want to just do? I'll do my 3, and then you do
Sure.
what you have. Because all mine are the exact same guy, and 2 of them are 4th and long or 4th and short, and the other one is just his regular yards. Isaiah Likely, to me, he's being misvalued. They have got to get him the football. This is an elite tight end. He wants to be paid. And I think he's going to be the guy in Baltimore. There's some weird things going on. I'm surprised they haven't gotten a contract extension done with him. But for that, he's in a contract year. Why is he he should want the football and he should be out there making plays. Cooper Rush, he had some, pre-snap penalties last week. It's pretty clear that he's trying to get used to it. But we're another week in now. First quarter, all we need is 1 catch with him. He doesn't catch passes behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe at the line of scrimmage, but he usually makes guys miss. He doesn't lose yards, so I'm not worried about that. Plus 166 that we're getting for him to catch 1 pass in the first. And I get it. If you look at what he's done and tell me he had 1 catch last week in the second quarter and that's all he did, that's fine. Todd Monken, I think, is going to be a little bit more aggressive throwing the football because the Derrick Henry into the ground isn't working. The Rams' run defense is very good. Yeah. That's not going to work, which I also like him over 16.5 receiving yards regularly. I think he catches 2 passes. If he catches 2 passes, he goes over it. And then third, real quick, because we're doing 4th and long, his longest reception over 11.5 yards. You guys know I like to attack these. Haven't had as much success as we usually do in longest reception like I did last year. But to me, if he catches 2 passes, he's catching 1 for 12 yards. Catching am I here?
Yeah, you're back now. Just pause for a sec, maybe, and it'll. Okay, yeah, I think we're good.
I'm good. I just think he's going to break some tackles. He's going to go down the field, make some plays.
Okay, that's all. You're done on 4th down.
Yep, those are my 3.
Okay. Here's some futures bets I've made that I like. This is priced wrong. Like, it just is. You guys know who's hurt. You know who's available. He's playing a Chicago defense. I think he's going to eviscerate on a national window Monday night. He's a special player. This offense, even without him, Mariota looked pretty good. Why do I bring that up? Because, yeah, I understand there's some guys banged up right now, but I think that's going to work in his favor. No Scary Terry pretty much all year. I still expect this kid to do special things. He lives for the big stage. And look, everybody thought the Eagles were winning this division, including me. But guess what? Nobody wins that division in back-to-back years. There's a path for them to win the division. There's a path for them to do it with adversity and with him being hurt early in the season. And there's a path for him doing it, because this is a narrative thing. It's humans voting on it. Without some of his key guys available to him, with some rookie running back nobody's ever heard of. I think the defense is soft enough that there's going to be opportunities for him to keep chasing games, keep putting up numbers. Kingsbury's trying to get a head coaching job. This kid winning an MVP would help that. I don't think Josh Allen's going to have as good of a year as he had. And yeah, like, does Baker and Goff and some of those guys scare me? Yeah, but they're not as dynamic as this kid. The way he does it, that's kind of what we think of the modern quarterback. So for 33-1, I'm on it. 2 baseball plays. You guys know I love the Brewers. Them having home field advantage is huge against the Dodgers team that hasn't traveled well all year. I like the Brewers putting together bullpen games more than the Dodgers. Can they even go back to Kershaw? I get it. No pedigree, but it's plus 175. So you can shop around. I'll just tell you, Bet365 has it at plus 175. If I saw it over plus 155, I was going to play it. And they're just scrappy. They'll find a way to win at home. Like, both teams have to patch it up in terms of not having as many starters as they would like. I just like how they manufacture runs. All the pressure's on the Dodgers. And again, if they had to start this series on LA, that'd be a different story. But we're big on the Brew Crew. And also, I like Seattle to win that series plus 110. Wu is back. Even if he's just in the pen, that's a big deal. No Bichette. That's a big deal. Hitting in Seattle, it's hard for everybody, but Seattle, I think, has a real home field advantage, and how that plays out for them, getting past a guy like Skubal. And, we'll see. We'll see about Bassett, Scherzer, whomever. I know that they're playing around with their roster over there, but Wu coming back is a big deal, and I really like what guys like Gilbert and Kirby were able to do for their confidence. And those guys are pretty much unhittable at home, and so is Castillo. So scratch one out in Toronto, take care of business at home. Overtime, Beltway Ben.
I'm upset that I cut out when you were getting into the Brewers because I wasn't able to talk about it. But
We'll fade them. Just fade
yes, it
them.
is.
Just put your
I
money
know
against them.
you can't fade them for the series. We'll see. And I also the two sides of it. I just that's an insane kind of how can you explain that to me?
Well, you're talking about sometimes they're pretty good, and then other times
No, they play
they're
good
not.
baseball. I don't think
Like
they're
you
going
call
to
them
win.
frauds, and they're one of the
Yeah.
final 4 teams standing. They've won more baseball games than
Yeah.
everybody else
Yeah.
in baseball.
So how's that two-siding? I think they're frauds. I think they're going to lose here.
Okay. You got a
Figure
loose
this stuff out
definition of
there.
fraud, but that's cool. They make money.
We'll see. Isaiah, we've heard. Okay, I'm not even going to comment on that. Isaiah Likely 25+ receiving yards. Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown, and Rico Dowdle 100+ rushing and receiving. Plus 1233 here. You guys know I take a big plus 1,000 usually, and we're going to do it here. I think Kenneth Walker gets in the end zone. It's been a little while since he has. Isaiah Likely spoke on why I liked him, and then Rico Dowdle. We take it up to get it to plus 103. Add that in the parlay, and you get plus 1,000. Second overtime here. The Raiders, the Rams, and the Chiefs on the money line. The Raiders and Rams. Got the Raiders in a lot of different parlays. I think they win today. The Rams, listen, I don't see them losing the Ravens. The line can move whatever way it wants. I don't see how that one stays close. And then the Chiefs, they don't win tonight. I think that Detroit secondary being banged up plays a massive role in this game. I think the Chiefs are going to get the passing game going a little bit more. You got to hope their defense can get enough stops. Should have won the Jaguars game. Turnover inside the 5 killed that one. So I think they win here tonight. And then triple overtime. Las Vegas Raiders on the money line. ETN over 13.5 receiving yards. Jawan Jennings 40+ receiving yards. ETN burned us last week. And usually when a guy burns us like that, the following week it's when all of a sudden you have a big day. But he also has the matchup here. When you look at what they've done against running backs, he has a good matchup here. So it's not me just throwing him in there because we lost him last week. I do think he goes over his receiving yards. And we add Jawan Jennings, who we already talked about, for plus 350.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think the Raiders open a can on the Titans today. I think I'm going to regret not putting more money on that game. Overtime for me. I'm on the other side of that Lions game. I like Lions money line. They've won 20 of their last 23 games. They've won 10 of their last 11 on the road. Campbell's 23-11 as a dog. And I know I'm taking them to win out right here. We're going to have another play that involves that. But I'm looking at a Kansas City team that was lucky as hell, won 12 straight one score games. Now have lost 3 in a row. Their kicker, not as good as he used to be. All the pressure's on them. I don't think that defense is special against the run. And I think they're going to lose this game in the trenches. There's no Chris Jones. Well, there's Chris Jones. He's shallow what he used to be. There's not really. Karlaftis is an okay edge rusher. They're not getting enough pressure as they need to on golf, and you can also run on them. So I'm on that. And look, I think it's a higher scoring game. I think they need at least 24 points to win this thing, and I do think they're going to win it. Also, give me Detroit with 3.5 and a Gibbs anytime touchdown. He scored in 14 in the last 17 games. He's obviously one of the elite scrimmage monsters in the NFL. I love the 1-2 punch. They keep him fresh. They keep Montgomery fresh. And again, I think they're a better football team than the Kansas City Chiefs. And going on the road and being a dog suits Dan Campbell just fine. Also, I love Brashad Smith prop. So 3 overtime. I've got a ladder going with this kid. Would not surprise me if he catches 4 balls or more in this. He's been catching 3 lately. He's been running more routes. I like him to get over 20 receiving yards. I like him to get over 30 receiving yards. He has 27 and 32 in the last 2 games. He's routinely getting gains of 15 or 17 yards through the air. I think you're going to see him show up in the red zone. Have I played him to anytime touchdown at 4-1? I have. I think you're going to see him showing up in that Jerick McKinnon role. I don't think Worthy's built for it. He's got the bum shoulder already now. They got to get him through the season. High traffic areas are not good for him. I keep hearing more and more coming out of that building about this kid, Smith, and his growing role, and Mahomes trusting him and Reed trusting him. And I think he's more of a pass catcher than a runner at this point in time. So that's our show. Beltway Ben, let the people please again know how it went yesterday. how it's gone since we launched this thing May 21st. Look, you still got time before kickoff. We've got a lot of shows out there from the last few days that are covering a lot of these games, what we like about them. All our picks, whenever we make them, we go right into that super Discord. Me, Ben, Eric Casillas. We let you know what we bet, where we bet it. If you want to know why we bet it, all that good stuff. It's available to you. Casillas is helping people with their fantasy teams. There's a lot going on there. A lot of happy customers. And we will be back with Eric Casillas tomorrow. Anytime, Ben, is any time better for you than others tomorrow? Hello?
Probably
Ben?
earlier in the morning.
Okay, we'll figure it out. I think I got something I have to do at 10, so we could do it at 9:30 or 10:30, something like that. We will figure that out. We wish everybody well today. Hope we have a great day. And we're sitting here tomorrow at 9:30 or 10:30 with crab mallets and lobster bibs on because we crushed it. So you want to bet, we want to bet. Thank you for wanting to bet with us.